जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, text number 20. This is the section of Prabhu Maharaj and his appearance and his activities. So this is talking about Prithu's speech. Charu Chitrapadam Shlakshnam Charu Chitrapadam Shlakshnam Mrishtam Gudhama Viklavam Mrishtam Gudhama Viklavam Sarvesham Upakarartham Sarvesham Upakarartham Tada Anuvadanniva Tada Anuvadanniva Charu Chitrapadam Shlakshnam Mrishtam Gudhama Viklavam Sarvesham Upakarartham Tada Anuvadanniva Charu Chitrapadam Shlakshnam Mrishtam Gudhama Viklavam Sarvesham Upakarartham Tada Anuvadanniva. Mataji's? What word meaning? Charu, beautiful. Chitrapadam, flowery. Shlakshnam, very clear. Mrishtam, very great. Gudham, meaningful. Aviklavam, without any doubt. Sarvesham, for all. Upakarartham, just to benefit them. Tada, at that time. Anuvadan, began to repeat. Iva, like. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Maharaj Prithu's speech was very beautiful, full of metaphorical language, clearly understandable and very pleasing to hear. His words were all grave and certain. It appears that when he spoke, he expressed his personal realization of the absolute truth in order to benefit all who were present. Purport. Maharaj Prithu was beautiful in his external bodily features, and his speech was also very glorious in all respects. His words, which were nicely composed in highly metaphorical, ornamental language, were pleasing to hear and were not only mellow but also very clearly understandable and without doubt or ambiguity. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So before I begin, I would like to seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees here, Rupanuga Prabhu and all other senior Vaishnavas. So this is a section from Prithu Maharaja's pastime. There is a conversation happening between Vidura and Maitreya. Vidura is inquiring about so many people. Here is inquiring about Prithu and his activities. He wants to know more about Prithu's glorious activities. And Vidura, as we know, he has retired from all family, business, politics, intrigues that happened in Hastinapur. And he has come to Maitreya to hear pure Krishna Katha. So he has seen all royal politics, dirty politics that happen in palaces. But even after coming out of it, he is again wanting to hear about a king named Prithu. So Prithu is not an ordinary king, he is an incarnation. So whenever we want to hear about anyone, it has to have some connection with Krishna. As in the first canto we hear, Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhir lokamangalam yat krita Krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. Any question, any topic that is connected with Krishna is bhavadbhir lokamangalam. It is going to be beneficial for the entire human society. And any question asked in connection, the hearer, the speaker, the audience, everyone benefits. Yenatma suprasidati. Everyone is satisfied and pleased. So here, Vidura is inquiring about Prithu because it has got a connection with Krishna and his avatars. So here from Prithu's story, we get to learn a lot of lessons, especially since GBC college students are present here. A lot of leadership lessons, behavioral lessons. So Prithu's birth, as we know, came out of the churning of Vena's dead body. Vena, who happened to be a very demonic ruler, a tyrant. So he was killed by the Brahmanas, right? After he created a lot of chaos and havoc in society. So finally, the Brahmanas had to intervene, and they had to put an end to all his demonic activities. But then they wanted a king. Someone had to rule. You can't have a kingless kingdom. So then the Brahmanas, they don't rule. Although they are considered the highest members of the social order, they don't take up the royal position. They become advisors to the king, advisors to the Kshatriyas, but they don't take up the role of a Kshatriya. So here, out of such a chaotic situation, came out Prithu's birth happened. They churned and they chanted the mantras, and an avatar came out. That's an interesting phenomenon. When we see the most chaotic condition, the most disturbing, confusing situation, from that comes out something very glorious. Like there is an English saying, the darkest hour comes before dawn. So if some dark phase is going on, very soon sun is going to rise, which means some glorious thing is going to happen. So here, Prithu's birth happened, and Prithu's birth was the most auspicious thing to happen for the earth, for the entire human society. So in this way, whenever we go through any difficult situation, any calamitous situation, usually we lose hope. We may complain, we may wonder why, in spite of my practicing of devotional service, why I have to go through, why Krishna is not helping me, reciprocating with me. But interestingly, we find in the lives of all great devotees, they never complain about their difficult situation. You see the story of Prahlad, the Pandavas, Ambarish. They don't complain. In one place, Prabhupada says in the Gita, a Shudra is one who laments unnecessarily, complains unnecessarily. So a devotee who is taken shelter of Krishna doesn't complain. He accepts everything. He or she accepts everything. He either tolerates, and a still better thing, tolerate, like Krishna says, Matra Sparsha Tam Tam Satikshasva Bharata. Just tolerate the difficult situation like we tolerate heat and cold, summer and winter. Still better approach to difficult situation is like Brahmaji says, Tattenugam Pamsa Samikshamano. Accepting all calamities and difficulties in life as some token reaction to something I have done in the past. I am supposed to get much more reactions, but by Krishna's grace, it has been compressed to such a small thing. So therefore, it becomes very easy to tolerate. But better than this, better than simply accepting everything gratefully, and something worse would have happened, but then by Krishna only this much has happened. Still better is demonstrated by Kunti Devi. Not only she is accepting it as Krishna's grace, she is inviting even more calamities. What is that verse? Vipadas santo dashashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yatsya apunar bhava darshanam. So such devotees consider the pain of calamity to be insignificant compared to the pain of separation from Krishna. So I don't mind going through repeated calamities and difficulties in life, but if that can award me the darshan of Krishna, the association and the grace of Krishna, that is even better. To get that, I don't mind going through any difficult situation in life. So that is the highest level of approach, best approach towards any difficult condition. Most of us may not be on that stage. At least we can tolerate like summer and winter seasons. We came from Bombay where there hardly you feel any winter. The temperature is 25, the lowest. And here we are like suddenly used to 10, 11. Kind of austerity. Delhi people are feeling it's cold, hot. 2 degrees at 11 degrees. So, but we have to tolerate. Something better is getting here. We are getting the association of so many devotees. Such a nice temple. So then we don't mind tolerating. So in this way, Prithu's appearance teaches us that no matter what the external conditions, how horrible the external conditions may appear to be, something good is going to happen if we can just maintain our composure and sanity. Then later we find Prithu's speech, as we saw here. Prithu's speech is described. Charu chitra padam, decorated with all ornamental words. Grave. Sarvesham upakarartham. It's beneficial for everyone. Later when he meets the Chatushkumar, the 4 Kumaras arrive at his palace and Prithu welcomes them very nicely with pleasing words. So here we find Prithu's humility coming out. Although he is the emperor of the planet and possesses all riches and wealth and luxuries and comforts, but still when these people come, the Chatushkumar comes, then he is saying, oh, the whole property, the whole kingdom, everything is yours. Please accept it, and I'll retire. You are the real rulers of the world. I am just your servant. And they in turn return it back to Prithu saying, oh, we are like mendicants, wandering mendicants. What are we going to do with this? So you accept it and you rule it on our behalf. So Prithu is ruling the kingdom not as the ruler and the controller, but as an obedient servant of the saintly people, saintly personalities. Regarding humility, Prabhupada writes a nice statement, nice paragraph in the Gita, in that section of 13th chapter, Amanitvam Adambitvam. He writes a very nice section. He defines humility. Humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. That's a big anxiety for many people. Someone should recognize, appreciate, and glorify me, and if I don't get, I become anxious. Not to have that anxiety of being honored by the satisfaction of being honored by others. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Dev ki jai. The material conception of life makes us very eager to receive honor from others. But from the point of view of a man in perfect knowledge, one who knows that he is not this body, anything, honor or dishonor, pertaining to this body is useless. One should not be hankering after this material deception. It's interesting. It's a deception. The satisfaction we get out of being honored by others is a deception. Prabhupada says. We are deceiving ourselves of something real, something higher. In India, there is no scarcity of people, the politicians. The election time is coming up. Politicians bragging their glories, talking about their achievements and demanding votes. And the opposition always criticizing them. So in this way, material conception is, unless I am recognized, I won't be accepted. I have to, if people don't appreciate me, I have to glorify myself and get attention. Otherwise, no one is going to recognize me. But in spiritual circles, the conception is exactly the opposite. Even if we have done something great, achieved something great, we understand that we did whatever we did by the grace of our superiors, by the grace of the Guru Parampara, by ultimately the grace of Krishna. and we are nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Arjun accomplished such a great thing, but then later towards the end, when he was in Dwarka trying to protect the queens, now he couldn't do anything. He was totally helpless. He had the same Gandiva bow, same arrows, the same skill, same everything the same, but he was helpless. He couldn't protect the queens of Dwarka from those tribals. Right. That's when he realized that the same Gandiva is there, but I couldn't do anything because Krishna has withdrawn all the empowerment that I had earlier. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he empowered me. Therefore, I was able to cross over this ocean of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadra Sajala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalya Grahavati Krupena Vani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sottirana Kalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaga Keshava. The Gita Dhyanam describes how Bhishma and Drona were like the two banks of a great river. Jayadratha Jala. Jayadratha is like the river, the waters of the river. Gandhara Nilotpala. Shakuni was like one aquatic animal, dangerous animal. Shalya Grahavati. Shalya and Karna are like crocodiles, big alligators inside the river of this Kurukshetra river battle. Karnena Velakula, Ashwathama, Vikarna Ghora Makara. Ashwathama is also a kind of big Ghora Makara, big alligator. And Duryodhana is like the whirlpool that sucks you inside. In such a situation, Sotterna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshava. In spite of such a dangerous situation around, Arjuna was able to cross over this great ocean by the help of Keshava alone. So in this way, we understand that our whatever we accomplish, whatever we do, at least intellectually, theoretically, we should understand that whatever we are able to do is because of the grace and empowerment of Krishna and his representatives or acharyas. Therefore, something we are able to do. And when we achieve something, people glorify, people appreciate. If it goes into our head, then it's a risky situation. So glorification shouldn't go into our head. Depression shouldn't go into our heart. Then we get affected. Our performance get affected. So in this way, Prithu here is demonstrating this quality of humility. And if we observe the lives of all our great acharyas, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is talking about, I am a worm in the stool and whatever I am doing is insignificant. At the ripe old age of 90, I have to write something. My Guru has ordered me to write something. The Leelas of Lord Chaitanya, I don't know, my memory is not perfect. What I'm going to write, I don't know. And after every chapter in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find he's kind of summarizing the whole thing. But he's not sure whether he will be able to complete the whole book. So after every section, he gives a summary of the whole thing and a summary of what he's going to write in the future. In case he is unable to finish the book, let the readers not be deprived of the nectar. But then eventually he ended up finishing the whole book nicely. And Prabhupada said this is one of the masterpieces of modern literature in terms of poetry and philosophy. So all our acharyas, Prabhupada in his song writes about humility. He expresses humility in that song, Markine Bhagavat Dharma. Nachao, Prabhu, nachao. Say mate. So all great leaders, all great devotees realize the importance of understanding that I am not the doer. I am just a puppet in the hands of my superiors. Later we find in Prithu's section, Prithu has a nice interaction with Bhumi Devi. That's an interesting section. So he sees that the population is hungry. They don't have enough food. So initially he's under the impression that maybe people are not performing their activities, some karmic reaction. But then later he realizes that the people are pious. They are doing their duties properly, but still they don't have enough food grains to eat. So he understands it is Bhumi Devi the culprit for the consumption of the population. So then he decides to give her a lesson, teach her a lesson. And then he starts chasing her. She takes the form of a cow, because usually you don't kill a cow. And then there is a nice interaction between those two. So there we understand how Prithu Maharaj, although he is an avatar, an incarnation, an empowered avatar, he is taking up the responsibility of not just providing spiritual instructions, but also taking care of the material needs of the people. So he chastises Bhumi Devi and orders her that you have to provide supply food grains to everyone. Enough. You can't withhold. So material needs and spiritual needs. So Prithvi is good at giving instructions. He has given nice good instructions to the people, how to perform their duties, how to live a God-centric life, and all those related instructions. But now here he is demonstrating how one has to take care of even the material needs. Material needs cannot be ignored. This is a mistake we devotees may tend to do. In the course of our preaching, we emphasize the importance of practicing spiritual life. We give them the holy name, we give them the Gita wisdom, the Bhagavatam wisdom, and all the Kirtan and the deities, darshan. But then people who are following us, people who are accepting our guidance, if they are going through a problem, material problem, either we ignore them or we may give a incomplete solution, improper solution. Like, for example, as youth preachers, we face this problem. Students come, we make them go through the Gita course and give them the beads, the Gita book, and other things. Later, they start expressing their problem. Oh, studies is an issue, focus, concentration. Nowadays, relationship problems. At 18, they have breakups. 15, 16 breakup issues, which usually we expect them to, after marriage and all those. They are facing this breakup relationship issue at 15, going through depression. So that is a problem we brahmacharis have to handle. And then health issues sometimes, then career issues, what career to follow, after a certain graduation, which course to do. Then addictions, that's a major problem. All kinds of addiction, drugs and alcohol, pornography addiction. How to help them get out of this? We can tell them to chant Hare Krishna and pray to Krishna, which is the ultimate solution, definitely. But then something more relevant, more practical, we have to offer. Otherwise, even if they have become devotees and started chanting Hare Krishna, they can't sustain their devotional practices because of these problems. If addiction is a major problem, they can't continue their chanting Hare Krishna for long. And eventually they may give it up, go away. So we have to step in and provide some solutions. So we have, in our temple, we are trying to involve some experts who are good at these things, de-addiction. I saw in one temple, I think it was in Jaipur, where they have a de-addiction center within the Iskcon temple campus, de-addiction center. And then I inquired about it. They said, yeah, we get CSR funds because of this. It helps in attracting people. Are really concerned about the youth and how they are going, in which direction they are going. So they want to come forward, help us. If they, when they see Iskcon devotees are helping the youth in this direction, they are ready to support. The point is how material needs cannot be ignored, and we have to provide some practical solutions so that in the long run their devotion can continue. Prabhupada wanted the Varnashram system to be established. Varnashram is like the taking care of the material needs. The ideal material condition of society most conducive to practice spiritual life. So in that sense, Varnashram is ideal. Although material, with Krishna in the center, it becomes Daivi Varnashram. So similarly, although we may not be able to replicate the original Varnashram system in today's times, to whatever extent, if we can take the spirit of Varnashram and help people settle down in their material life so that their spiritual life can happen nicely, can be practiced nicely, then to that extent we help them as much as possible. Whether it is their health issues, marital issues, job and occupation, professional related issues, we have to help them as much as possible. And not just rigidly keep on talking about only the spiritual, saying, okay, just chant Hare Krishna, everything will be taken care of. People may not be on that level of surrender to Krishna that everything can be, they can tolerate and go through all those problems. So here Prathu is demonstrating that need, taking care of the material needs of the population. And later we find the story, very interesting story of Prathu's Ashwamedha sacrifices. He wanted to embark on this journey of performing 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices. Right? And what happened? He did 10, 20, 30, 30, 50, 70, 80, 90, 99 Ashwamedhas. Indra is known as Shatakratu, one who has performed 100, the only one who has successfully performed 100 sacrifices. And here is Prathu, the dark horse, who is coming up, about to overtake him. So he gets into anxiety. So then he starts disrupting. When the 100th sacrifice is going on, he is creating disruptions. He disguises himself as in various sadhu forms and steals away the horse. And then Prathu's son chases him. And then he's like a sadhu here. So Prathu's son doesn't attack him, doesn't spare his life, gets back the horse, again resumes the sacrifice, again he comes. This happens back and forth so many times. So eventually the Brahmanas decide he should be killed. And they start chanting mantras to make Indra as the sacrificial offering. Indra was like the king of the demigods. He is going to become the ahuti of the yajna. That's when Lord Brahma appears there. Now the situation is going out of control. He comes there and he says, wait, then this is going too far. Let us not kill Indra. Although he is the main culprit here and he has done a lot of mischief. But we cannot kill Indra because he is holding a very responsible position in the overall universal administration. So killing Indra is not the solution. Then Brahma tells Prathu, by the way, why do you want to do 100? What are you going to gain out of doing the 100th? So ultimately a material thing, 100 century maar liya. What's the gain? Be happy with 99. What's the loss with 99? You have already achieved your name, you have already achieved a good name and reputation. You are an empowered incarnation. एक नहीं किया तो क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? Forget it. So Prathu says, okay. Prathu obediently, submissively accepts that instruction and agrees to settle down with 99. And as soon as he settles down, he's happy to that instruction. Lord Vishnu also comes there, blesses him, saying, well done, very nice. He's happy that Prithu is not in a competitive mood to overtake Indra. Now the culprit is Indra, but the instruction and chastisement goes to Prithu. No one is telling anything to Indra. You do this, and no, how could you do this? You are creating so many bad apasampradayas have happened because of your disguises. Right? He's created such a problem. But neither Lord Brahma nor Lord Vishnu tell anything to him. Instead, they tell Prithu to refrain from continuing the sacrifice. Why? Because Prabhupada writes that because Prithu is more mature, you can tell someone to withdraw only to a mature person, not someone who is passionate about certain material achievement. So Prithu, understanding that Prithu is mature and he will understand the overall, the bigger picture, how if he continues, so many bad examples will be set by Indra. Indra is not going to change anyway. He's stubborn, attached to his position and accomplishments. So there's no point in advising him. Better advise Prithu, who will accept the instruction, follow it, and set a good example. This is what is happening here. So the culprit is spared, and the one who is agreeing to follow all rules, he is getting the chastisement. We have noticed, at least I have noticed this many times in our ashram also. Someone who is not punctual, say for example, deity worship, you are supposed to come at a certain time, do the Aarti at a certain time, offering bhoga. Sometimes pujaris get late, they forget, or something happens. And then what happens? At the last one, there is panic. And then you have to catch hold of someone. Whom do you catch hold of? Someone who has in his service, very punctual, very reliable. You tell him, okay, please do this. Next day also it happens, say some other thing happens. Again you catch hold of him. Again something else happens, you catch hold of him. But this guy is wondering, the problem is, I am doing everything properly, therefore I am getting overloaded by so many services. No one is chastising him, but the authorities think that this person is anyway unreliable. No matter how many feedbacks you give him, how many corrections you tell him, he is not going to improve. Better approach someone who is submissive, accepting the instruction, and then you don't have the anxiety of whether the thing will happen or not. It's a better approach. So whenever we are like that, if someone is approaching us for a certain critical service, instead of complaining and thinking that, come on, why me? We should think, this person is finding me to be reliable and dependable. It's my honor that I have proved myself to be dependable and reliable. So therefore I am getting more service. Krishna is gifting me with much more opportunities to serve. And this way I can contribute to the mission. So in this way, Prithu Maharaj is demonstrating such nice qualities. An ideal leader is someone who can be a good follower. Without being a good follower, we cannot be a good leader. So we are followers of our parampara, we are followers of our guru, we are followers of our senior Vaishnavas. The more obedient we are to these superior authorities, then we become an ideal leader. An ideal servant leader. So if you have not demonstrated the quality of following someone submissively, we can't expect a following. Not that we are hankering for followers, but if you have to lead someone, then we have to demonstrate that I have followed my authorities. I am strictly following. Like Prabhupada strictly stuck to his guru's instruction. He had no followers. For 40-45 years, he was trying to preach in India. No success. Jhansi failed. Japan mission failed. So many things failed. For 1922, he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. 1966 he went. 44 years, no success. Here we try for some preaching, one or two, few months, few years we try and then we give up. Okay, this is a bad project. Let's go to another bad congregation. These people are very, very bad. Let's go to some other place. Within months we change. Prabhupada is trying for 45 years. Finally he got success in America. Because he strictly followed his guru's instructions. And once he went to America, thousands of followers. So in this way, Prathu Maharaj is demonstrating so many lessons. I'll stop here. If anyone has any comments or questions, any reflections. Oh, yes, Prabhupada. Yeah, so we are still in the process of working it out. We don't have we don't have much of a solutions to this. Therefore, we are trying to involve experts who are good at this, professional consultants like Alcohol Anonymous and all such people. Similarly, we are trying to rope them in, and so that they can offer some guidance and help. Ideally, we would like to have devotees who are in this field, but if not devotees, then we may have to. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Yeah. 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 Acha. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. 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 Like yesterday, we were hearing from Raghunath Prabhu all these management principles. It may appear everything mundane from one point of view, but the principles are very much aligned with our spiritual principles, like trust and humility and forgiveness. These are all Krishna describes all these qualities, right, in the Gita. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Arjavam. But the foundation, all these foundational principles are ultimately spiritual. We just have to package it nicely and some covering up, and then it works many times. It may not be the ultimate solution. Ultimate solution definitely is a holy name, which will bring about real transformation of the heart, the process of bhakti yoga. But until then, some stopgap measures cannot be ignored totally. Raghunath, you want to add something? Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So Madhavi was asking about that. So this alcohol anonymous. This is a 12-step program. One of the main step is taking shelter of divine. So they may not tell you to chant Hare Krishna, but they tell you to take shelter of divinity, higher consciousness, like that. But when we connect it with Krishna consciousness, so it becomes easy because we give them practical.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
good combination actually.
Yeah. Huh? Adding the one below the zero, yeah.
Yeah. So, like we talk about integrity, you know, integrity. But that is there, in our Ramayana. Raghukulas research chali prana jai pravachan jai. That is called integrity,
Yeah.
And there are so many principles that already is there. But only thing is, these people have experienced lot, have a 30, 40-year experience in this field. So they have written this book in a very systematic way. You can get all the topics in one chapters, like credibility, integrity.
Yeah.
So we have, but we are different there. Somewhere in Bhagavatam, somewhere in Bhagavad Gita. But they've, posted and then grabbed in one book. So they are releasing.
Yeah.
The principles are the same.
Yeah.
And for them also it's very difficult to follow. Even the corporate sectors, this servant leadership concept is coming. So that we already having ke aapko das and das banna hai. Our prayer started with that only. But they are realizing now that without servant leaderships, you cannot progress in any field in organization.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
So utility is a principle. Whichever principle in the material world helps us in practicing Krishna consciousness, we use it and then you give it up as soon as the use is over. Ultimately, we have to take shelter of Krishna. If you take shelter of these guidelines, these books, these authors, then kind of we may be deviating. We use them, use it in the service of Krishna. Once it is over, give it up. Ultimately, we have to take shelter of Bhagavatam and Krishna's instructions. So let us remember that principle and use it as much as whichever is applicable to us. Everything may not be relevant to everyone. Depends on individual to individual. And in this way, we can be safe. We stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की.
Great instructions.